Have you ever walked into a dance class so excited with anticipation, only to get halfway through and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know how my arms move. Questioning your entire existence and feeling so emotionally dramatic. This episode is for you. Hello, my beautiful, gorgeous dance baby, and welcome to another episode of More Than Dance. Today, we are talking about the dance roller coaster. Dance is like a roller coaster, and it's crazy that I never heard of this analogy growing up dancing at all. I started using it though because I would realize that my students' experience would be much like that of going on a roller coaster. I want to paint the picture. The last time I went on a roller coaster was a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. It was crazy as an adult. It was like, whoa. I feel like I just signed up to get in a car accident. Like that's kind of how it felt a little bit. Now, have not gone to Disney as an adult or Universal, though I remember it a little bit from my youth. And I do remember Six Flags. So we're going to paint the picture like that. From my memory, it's roller coaster day. You're going to go with your friends. You're getting ready. Maybe you're going to pack a little lunch, get your little water bottle, get a cute little outfit. You got to get those shorts that like don't do the chub rub, like because if you're going to go on a roller coaster that like gets slightly wet and then you get your like shorts wet, like there's that whole thing that like us thicker girls know about, and you gotta wear the correct outfit. You got your fanny pack, you got your tickets, you got the peeps you're going with. All right, we get there. It's like a drive. The drive is hype, like everything's exciting. We're going, hell yeah. You get through, you get your wristbands or whatever you get, and it's like, okay, which one are we gonna hop on first? The excitement, the anticipation. If you've been on the ride, you know what it's going to be like, though your body's still going to get shocked because it just is. If you've never been on the ride before, you're in for the ultimate shock. And it's mostly because there's no way to predict exactly what the ride does off of someone's description, a website description, or even what you're seeing, because it's very hard for us to understand what that would feel like. So today I'm telling you that going on a roller coaster is much like dancing. And here's why. As a beginner, it's very exciting that one day where you just say, I'm going to sign up for dance. I'm going to do it. Maybe you tell a friend and it's like, hey, you want to do it together? And it's like, okay, let's go. What are we going to wear? Catching the similarities already. What are you going to wear? Oh, well, we're going to probably sweat a little bit. So we want something maybe sweat proof, or we want to make sure that we're like properly fed. We're going to bring our water. And you're so excited and you kind of have an idea. Like maybe you've seen a dance class before. Maybe you've participated in a dance class before. So much like the roller coaster, you kind of like know what the roller coaster looks like. You know what the dance kind of looks like. And at the same time, you don't know what it's going to feel like when you're there because you don't know. There's so many unknowns. Going back into the roller coaster world for a second. So you choose the one that you're going to. You get in the line, you're waiting, you're so excited. Dance world. You sign up for your class, you're waiting, you're so excited. You're nervous, like also, but you're like excited. And you're like, oh my gosh, like what's it gonna be like? Maybe you sign up a week in advance, maybe 2 days in advance, and you've got that waiting time. You're in line, it's so exciting. And then those like final moments come where it's like, oh my gosh, we could turn around right now. No one's telling you have to go on the roller coaster. No one's telling you have to be there, but you want to. Something inside of you is like, no, I must see what this ride is all about. I want to understand why my friends love this one so much. Dance world. No, I have to see what it's like. I want to learn how to dance so bad. I want to finally be able to feel confident in my body, and I know dance will help. So you get to the front of the line and you got that one ride left, and it's so exciting. So that hour, it's like that hour before class, maybe it's like you're about to hop into your car and you're like, all right, this is it. The moment is here. I'm driving over to the studio. I'm gonna find my parking spot and I'm gonna get excited. Okay, comes time to pick your cart. You go in, you put your seatbelt on. You might check it a bunch of times. You walk yourself into the dance studio and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm actually here. You're not in the studio yet. You're just putting your stuff away in a cubby. Should I put my shoes on? Should I leave my shoes off first? What should I do? Where's the bathroom? Can I go home? Back to the ride. The person comes around, makes sure you're all set and good. Click, click, everything's good. Check, 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 thumbs up, thumbs up. Someone introduces themselves. The teacher is there. They're welcoming you. Hi, what's your name? Cool. Oh, nice to meet you. Oh, thank you. Yes, this is my first class. Okay, come on in. Anticipation, excitement. It's awesome. The class starts and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is like exactly what I thought. Everyone's so nice. Oh my gosh, this is you going up, click, 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 up that roller coaster. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. I can see so much. What a great view. I know we're going to go down soon, but this feels so exciting. You're on the climb. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you drop. You drop on the roller coaster and you drop in the class. What happens in the class is something gets confusing. Something gets hard. Something feels unattainable. Something feels overwhelmed and like you don't know the answers. And worse than that, you don't know how to find the answers. So you're going down this 180-foot drop. You have your seatbelt on. You have a teacher and you're still lost. You still feel overwhelmed. You still feel scared. It goes further down and now it's just picking up the speed. We just added choreo. We went over it 5 times now and you still have a question on it. Oh, we just went over it 3 more times than that, 8 times total, and you still have a question. Or something isn't making sense, or something spatially isn't clicking with you. Maybe you missed something. Oh, you had to go to the bathroom. You missed a part. You come back in, you feeling like you're just like not in your body. You don't know where your arm is. You're just like, what? After that moment in class where you drop and you get confused, the roller coaster doesn't just end down. It's not like you went up, then you go down. We're not hopping on a scream. That's not a roller coaster. You go back up and you go up fast and you circle around and you go upside down. In dance, oh, I kind of get what she's saying. I understand that a little bit. Oh my gosh. Okay, something clicked. Oh, that's cool. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, we went over it 16 more times and now I actually get it. Okay, cool. Then guess what? You don't know this, but this ride, it goes upside down and backwards. But you didn't know that. It didn't say it. No one told you. It didn't give you disclaimer. This one goes actually in reverse and upside down. And all of a sudden, the floor that your feet are like on disappears. And then there's this like moment where you're like, your feet are dangling all of a sudden and they weren't before. In dance class, you're like, I thought we were going to like learn that part of the routine. And then that was kind of like it. She's adding on more choreography. I don't even fully have this one yet. Yes, that's that floor being like taken out from under you. That's that extra dip that you didn't know was going to dip. That's that upside down extra swirl that you didn't know was going to happen. That's that reverse ride that you didn't understand was like even going to happen. We go over it again and you're going fast. And then you get to a point where you're like, wow, I understand this. Okay, I get it. I'm not a lost cause. Well, in the roller coaster, it's time to go through the dark tunnel, get sprayed by water, and then get your picture taken. And what happens in the dance room during this part is, well, we're going to run this routine 5 times in a row. We're going to work on our endurance. And then we're going to do showcase. Showcase is optional. And if you know about the studio, you know about showcase. And if this is your first time listening, then showcase is when we perform for each other in front of a camera as well, the routine that we just learned. And we know that the routine is not perfect. We logically know that. However, sometimes emotionally, we think that it needs to be perfect and it has to be perfectly executed for it to count as something worthy. And that's just not what it is. So it takes some time for me to teach this to my students because it's like you film something that's perfected. You perform something that's perfected traditionally in dance, right? That's not how we do it. We do it for like, this is your moment in time. This is your souvenir. This is your roller coaster photo. Now, fast forward just a little bit. You're off the ride and you go to that little like souvenir area and you see the photos coming up. You go with your friend and you get that first glimpse of, oh my God, here's our photo. And you see that your face looks like that meme of the kid that's like, and like his eyes are his eyes are like rolling in the back of his head and his face is like this. And you've got like your hair like upside down and then the person next to you is like almost looking like they're gonna die. Well, something about that photo is so funny and so special. And like you do the thing where you like grab onto your friend's like arm and you're like, oh my God. And you laugh and you have one of those like crazy hysterical laughs because it's just so funny. And like you remember it just happened, but you didn't remember it like that. Or maybe you did remember it like that and you buy it. Because you're like, I want to remember this moment. At the studio, it's a little different because we highly encourage the photos. Like you don't have to buy them separately and you get them. And maybe you don't want to see it because it's vulnerable to see yourself in a process of growth. It's vulnerable to see yourself learning and not being perfect. It's vulnerable to see yourself maybe looking really awkward and not how you want to look even at all. And sometimes you get to look that way and feel that way before you feel the way you truly want to feel, which is really connected with your body. So after you go through that dark tunnel, we're rewinding. After you go through that dark tunnel, you go through the camera, the mist goes on your face. Maybe you go for another little swirl. Maybe you run it a couple more times in the dance studio. And it gets to the point where you know it's over because it's like kind of slowing down and it's flattening out. And then the brakes come on and you kind of have one more whiplash. At the studio, it's like the closing. It's like circle time for us. I always like to close my classes with circle time, name, highlight, success. And it's like the realization of, wow, I just went on that ride. Or, wow, I just did that class. I remember a year and a half ago when I did go on a roller coaster for the first time since 10 years prior. I remember thinking a lot of things like, whoa, that's not what I remembered it feeling like. Whoa, I'm feeling my age. Whoa, like, did I just sign up to get into a car accident? And oh my gosh, like, am I still here? Like, I was like, oh my God, like, am I alive? I was like, kind of like out of my head, out of my body. It was like almost sick, but not. And like, that's what happens when we dance is like everything's happening and our brains are working so hard that it takes a minute to just breathe and find your presence again and say like, whoa, I'm here. I just did a dance class. I just did a dance class. It's exciting and it's thrilling. And that was amazing. And this is why you'll hop off a roller coaster that you just went on that puts you through that entire experience. And you're like, let's do it again. And that's what happens with dance because you're like, whoa, what was that? What was all of that? I got to do it again. I got to go again. I want to feel that again. And it's a lot of feelings, dance, because it really is up and down. It's like, it's the dance roller coaster. You feel really good, really excited, and then you go for that unexpected turn or that unexpected dip, and it's so shocking. And sometimes with dance class, hopefully you learn that it will happen. And hopefully you learn to expect something to be difficult if you're in the proper level. Something should feel hard. You don't want to feel like you're in a class that's really easy. That wouldn't be growth. And you have that moment where you overcome that challenge. Overcoming that challenge feels so powerful. And then you realize, well, maybe that is what this class is about. It's teaching me not only to dance, it's teaching me how to overcome challenges, how to feel good about myself even when things are hard, how to feel like I am something even when I'm not perfect, how to feel worthy enough to be in a class with people who love what you love, dance, love what you love, music. And you get reignited by that feeling so much that you keep signing up for it. And when you get to the level of dance that is maybe professional level or very advanced, the roller coaster still exists. It's just you've been on that ride so many times that you actually probably could describe it to your friends in great detail, every twist, every turn, the timing, because you understand it so much. And at the same time, it challenges you so much. And at the same time, you enjoy it so much. So when you're feeling that intense bodily feeling, that's the exact feeling on a roller coaster when your stomach flips. That's when you start to say, this isn't for me. I don't know what I'm doing. Have you ever thought that during a class? Or maybe you've let in a little bit of imposter syndrome? Episode 24, great episode on imposter syndrome, because that will seep in and it will feel like, what am I doing here? Dance isn't made for me. Dance isn't made for someone who has a body like mine. Dance isn't made for someone who isn't flexible. I'm not flexible yet. This isn't for me. And surprise, it is, because that roller coaster ride did not have a sign that said, this ride is not for you. If that ride is open to all, because dance is open to all. So just as in a roller coaster, we get excited and like, woo, about the loops, the upside down, the track that we're on and like, what is happening? Or maybe any of the visuals that we see. We get excited about the confusion and how confusion helps us to make more progress, because confusion will help you build out your questions and know what you need. And if you know what you need, you're becoming a better dance learner. And not just dance learner, you're actually learning more about yourself as a human. And this moment we didn't talk about, but you know that part on the roller coaster ride where you feel comfortable and safe enough to lift your hands up from the bar? That moment happens in dance too. And it's like, whoa, I'm trusting myself. believe in myself a little bit, or I actually got that. Or maybe it's that moment where you notice other people in the class, and we say not to compare, but sometimes you just do compare. And it gives you a little bit of information when you notice, well, people are really confused on that part, and I'm not. I get that. And that feels so good. And it's not because you understand it better and you're a better dancer. Maybe it is. It's more like you surrendered and you committed yourself to the process. I'm sure you've heard that phrase, trust the process. It's real. So just like at the end of the roller coaster where you feel kind of like, wow, okay, you get to kind of take that big exhale. You get to do that after every class where you decide to not feel defeated. When you can recognize that you're not stuck in the drop forever. When you get to leave with more curiosity over defeat. I've done that before, like hopped off a roller coaster and been like, wait, what? And I'm just so curious. I'm like, how did they know to do that? And how did they know I get very curious like that. And as we know, every roller coaster ends. It's not forever. Just like every moment of discomfort on the dance floor during dance class, it's not forever either. So I want to invite you to adopt this mindset of dance class is like a roller coaster, because I do think oftentimes people come in thinking that it's a treadmill, and it's just not. And it's not a treadmill on incline. It's not a treadmill going backwards. It is a full-on roller coaster ride. And we get to get excited about that, because how cool is it that we get to feel that sensation dancing? We get to get so activated mentally and physically and emotionally all in one time. There's not a lot of things you can do that can do all of those things. You get to get vulnerable publicly, and vulnerability is one of the biggest pathways to growth and seeing yourself and connecting with others. And then we get left with emotional endurance. We get self-regulation, resilience, letting go of control. That's a giant one. And we get to trust the process. Dance class trains your body to handle intensity, and all of that transfers to life. So just like we sign up for the roller coaster because it has all these unexpected drops, it's like we know that's going to happen. We expect for it to happen because it's a roller coaster. And that's the point of the ride. We get to now say, that's the point of dance class. The point is to feel all of those ups and downs and to move forward through them. Unless, of course, the roller coaster flips you upside down and moves backwards and then forward again. And just know that you do have support, and it's within the members of your studio, the people you choose to bring with you to class, the people you choose to include on your dance journey, your dance teacher, your dance mentor. So the same as like, if you ever hopped off the ride, you hop off with your friends, but then also like the row in front of you and the row in back of you, you're like all talking about it because you're like, oh my God, because you all are in that same exact feeling. You've all got to share a big moment together, and you have more to relate on. So the same is true with your dance pals, your dance babes, and the people that you include on the ride. So I hope that this analogy is helpful for you and actually really encouraging for you to accept your struggle and your confusion and know that it's leading you to progress and excitement. And to always remember that as soon as you start to feel comfortable, get excited for your very skilled teacher to take the floor out from under you and give you a bigger challenge, because oftentimes you will underestimate how capable you are and potentially limit yourself from more growth. So I hope that this was helpful for you today. I know that it's helpful for my students when I give them that analogy. They always have that light bulb moment of like, oh my God, it is a roller coaster. And if this was helpful for you, it would mean the absolute world to me if you left a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. This is one of the best ways that the podcast can be shared with a dancer just like you on their dance journey. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the dance floor.